December 1st, 2017. Welcome to a new episode of News, Breaking News. We're your hosts, the incorrigible Mr. Zeppo and...
Hello, Basil Toothbeard here.
Covering some of the more interesting and less obvious headlines, I want to open with one of the most underreported yet critically important topics today. I hate to break it to you folks, but the oceans are toxic. The living womb that is the very place of birth of all life, we've just been pooping in it. Industrial waste and dumping, the repeal of, never mind just the most recent attack and repeal by the Trump administration. This is decades going that presidency after presidency has, in one form or another, worked some sort of loosening of original restrictive, in the name of free market growth. We have been just allowing ever increasing amounts of industrial dumping into our mother oceans. And our nasty sort of habit of not recycling obviously recyclable stuff. There are, the second part of this is there are massive, mind you. You can see them from space. Forgive me for those of you who don't believe in space. Basil, some people don't believe that there is outer space.
Outer space and inner space?
They don't believe in either.
I'm a dinosaur. My concepts of these things are at best whimsical.
But these massive mountains of trash are visible from satellites, or are a big massive hoax, according to some. But never mind that. This one is undeniable, and the biggest of the three reasons why the oceans are currently and right now massively toxic. And no one's talking about it in mainstream media. And that is, of course, my friends, the ever-neglected Fukushima and its unstoppable spill of radioactive waste into the Pacific Ocean. For anyone foolish enough to think that might take thousands of years to get around to impacting the west coast of the United States, you're a silly, silly person who doesn't understand fluid dynamics. Water transmits content rather quickly across vast distances because it is a solvent and it dilutes things and it likes to spread them out. So, folks, I hate to ruin your morning if you're enjoying a bit of tea or coffee, but our planet's oceans are already sort of disgustingly toxic.
Just think of the mutant superpowers, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Superpowers.
I've been bathing at the coast every day. I mean, come on, who doesn't want to...
You've got an advantage, Basil. You are already a talking, cyberized dinosaur from the ancient past.
Yeah, that's why I'm a dinosaur.
That, pirate captain.
Yeah. Well, Blackbeard was taken, and Yellowbeard and Redbeard, and I don't have a beard because I'm a dinosaur.
Right. I really like it. I think it's very catchy. Basil Toothbeard.
So Toothbeard was...
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I think you should... I think it's really perfect. It really sort of adds, pardon the pun, a fine point to your already intimidating smile. So that by means of introducing my new... collaborator and hopefully ongoing co-host for as many segments as possible of this and all the little weird shows that we do. Basil Toothbeard, take it away with your headline.
All right, okay. So I'm a very British-sounding dinosaur from the past in the future, which is your present. Not your present, because you're from the future. And
yes.
Yeah,
let's not confuse the audience.
You, the audience, it's your present. Hi. So, my news is that Trump's trip to the UK has been cancelled due to the president's far-right anti-Muslim tweets, there we go, I can say it, which have sparked tensions with Theresa May. Now, he already was only on a working visit because the whole big like, oh, the president's coming, let's meet the Queen, like Brits hate him and they protest. So
is this true that you're not just making a broad fake news generalization? The Brits, because you spend most of your time.
I can't talk for every Brit.
Sure,
but the majority. It's a very left-leaning country, really, at the end of the day. It's gone a little bit crazy recently, just like everywhere, but on the whole, Donald Trump is not massively liked. So, yeah, sparking tensions with Theresa May.
Because of those crazy videos he retweeted. Now, those videos originated in England, correct? Out of some right-wing...
Yeah.
Well, they didn't originate there, but they were being tweeted by some right-wing, ultra-extreme...
Yes.
What were they called? That organization?
Britain First, I think.
Britain First. That's sort of like just right in there, hand in glove with America First. No wonder that Trump so blindly retweeted it.
One of the videos of note was what was supposedly a Muslim lad kicking the crap out of a Dutch boy on crutches.
So that it was framed as though he was an immigrant.
Yeah, look at this Muslim immigrant beating up this poor Dutch boy on crutches.
Right.
And of course, the actual facts of the video was it was a Dutch boy beating up a Dutch boy on crutches.
So
they were both...
They were both Dutch.
Yeah, they were both
One
Dutch.
just was slightly more brown than the other, I believe.
Yeah, just a little bit. So, Sarah Huckabee has stated whether it's a real video, the threat is real, to which the Dutch embassy said, the facts do matter.
Yes. Huzzah to the Dutch embassy. And that's the American embassy to the Dutch people, I believe, right? That wasn't the Dutch embassy here in America that tweeted it. Or am I getting the facts wrong? Am I getting it backwards?
I thought it was the... I don't
know. I think perhaps both. Because I do believe I saw something on the television about this yesterday. And that an American ambassador to the country from which these kids were no, they are both born here. There was no immigrant involved in this video at all. They tweeted about it, and it was it was one of our guys.
Yeah.
I say that loosely. I am not technically an American, but I do love this country. Don't get me wrong. So brutal.
I'm American.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know they naturalized dinosaurs.
No, I did not know that was an option.
Yeah.
So dinosaurs before Mexicans, huh?
Yep.
It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting priorities.
That's my new slogan, I think.
Dinosaur pirates before Americans. I think I don't know. That's the way I would imagine, one of your supporters saying it. In the streets of
they
some
usually
place.
run screaming, but that's the idea, to get some supporters who like my
get you run
toothy
grin in office. Toothy grin,
as opposed to looking vaguely uncomfortable and moving away slowly.
One day, I support you, Basil. But for now, I would like to retain you as my social media consultant and collaborative co-host.
I'm kind of short for a dinosaur. That's the problem.
It's it's a bit tricky. The Murica likes their politicians tall, and
their dinosaurs taller. Yes.
Yeah, and their dinosaurs taller. So, digressing back to some depressing, severely underreported news. I hate to ruin your morning any further, dear audience, but have you not noticed that they do not talk about this on the news? But bankers, when they are sussed out on crimes and then reported and then maybe even investigated, maybe even give them a little slap on the wrist, ride in the paddy wagon into processing center, they almost never get fined or not in large numbers anyway, get sent to jail for crimes that would send either myself or my dear beloved Toothbeard here to up shit creek without a paddle for quite a big period of time. I wonder why that is. So the breaking news there is yes. For anybody still clinging to the idea that mainstream news is some sort of underdog hero fighting for your rights, take note of what they aren't reminding you of. Another quick random off the top of my head example. I know you've been away and traveling on the seven seas there, Basil, but you might recall that here in Trumptopia, a city in the Midwest by the name of Flint, Michigan, was spiraling out of control in this chaos of discovering that they were all essentially drinking toxic water, and I have cared deeply about that issue, but I feel like an ass. I don't remember exactly how many years it's been now, but it's been more than...
My concept of time is, no.
Yeah, well, I can't blame you. I mean, your dinosaurs are known to be very zen and sort of like preeminently present in whatever present moment. So no rush. But I think it's been several years, and not very much effort has been put into replacing the cause of the toxic drinking water, which is the toxic piping being used to bring that water to the people's homes. So it's interesting to break open the news and go, hey, how come they're not talking about that? Back to you and your lovely list of headlines for today's episode.
So one headline that jumped out at me in the last few hours is that Michael Flynn pleads guilty to lying to the FBI in the Russia probe.
Whoa. Now, this is one of those things where like the knee-jerk response from the extreme right might be that, that's a fake news. But this is testimony pleading guilty at a real, actual legal proceeding that's being, kept as a matter of public record.
Yes. So, it is somewhat nebulous, because if you go to any of the news articles about it and look at it, that's all it says. He's pleaded guilty. End of article. It's like a paragraph, so more to come.
More to come.
It's even on the BBC, though. It's not just like, dudeinmyunderwear.com news today.
But that's
because that's kind of us.
That's my hero and inspiration that caused me to start NBN. Hashtag NBN. But I'm fascinated by this because there's been so much hubbub about the Russia thing, and I don't know if you've even been listening.
Russians taste the same as Americans at the end of the day.
Do they now?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I've never tasted of any of the human flesh.
I mean, their cooking.
You mean the food? It all tastes...
As far as you know, yes.
Yes, talking dinosaur. Yeah. Okay, but this hubbub about Russia is fascinating to me, and I'd like to stress for anyone joining the podcast as a new listener, go back into early episodes of Trumptopia. Oh, wait, you're going to have to wait for them, because they've been officially rebooted. So we're going to be dropping sort of trimmed down, cleaned up, less rambly, more well-organized, with a little bit of joint commentary episodes, I hope, of the last 2 seasons worth of Trumptopia, where you will see. But if you don't believe me, and you don't want to wait until we remaster those and re-edit and do all the additional recording, there's the long-term, forever archives on my YouTube channel, which I don't have a link for off the top of my head because I'm not paying for a professional YouTube channel page yet, and it's some weird long linky thing. But it'll be we'll put it in the notes and in the posts. But YouTube, The Incorrigible Mr. Zeppo, look that up. And I actually have 2 YouTube pages, so be careful. The one that has 0 videos on it, that's the new one. Brace yourself, I'm going to be uploading everything there. But the old-timey one has every video going way back to the dawn of time, or at least when I started realizing that I should put things on YouTube. So yeah, and since the beginning, I've been saying Russia is not fake news, but yes, it is indeed a ruse, and by that I mean that Russia is quite literally no different than any politician here in the United States, for they over there are also hijacked corporate infrastructures, all puppeteered by some, elite few who profiteering on everything. So, yeah.
Pesky profiteers with their profits.
I know,
Yeah.
seriously. But let's pin
Is it me? Is it you, not you now?
No, it's me. No, I'm just
sorry.
sticking a pin on this because it's, someone actually pleading guilty to lying to the FBI is sort of a deal breaker to anybody. Should be, anyways, in my opinion, to anyone clinging to the Russia thing is all fake news. I don't think it's all fake news. I think there's something real. I think that Panama Papers is going to come up back to the surface again after months and months and months of everyone forgetting all about it. I think the really ridiculously funny, provable, verifiable fact that everyone who had a Panama Papers account used a James Bond supervillain name for their offshore tax avoidance, secret, super secret, untraceable account of money, of massive slush fund money that comes from somewhere. Russia's just one tributary place from which that money was flowing. And so it goes bigger and deeper, and it seems kind of obvious to me. But I'm just a cybernetic hippie from the future that's programmed to be anti-war and anti-war profiteering. So I might be sort of hitting my own head against that bias. I am biased, folks, but at least I'm honest about it. I'm programmed on purpose by my creator, who was me. I'm just like a cyber clone of myself.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, a lot of people don't know that. Now it's out and open. A lot of people would not have known had we not blatantly introduced it right away that you were a talking pirate Captain Dinosaur.
Yeah, the whole eating people kind of thing would have been a bit weird.
I've listen.
Not that I do.
No, you're allowed to joke. It's a tricky subject because, eating people is bad. We're not allowed to do it, and you've signed an agreement, saying that you're going to try to be a non-peopletarian.
Okay.
All right. So, we got to try to stick by that. We live in an era where we just got to, figure out the best way to get along, and I don't think that eating people helps you in your cause of getting along with people.
But pirating's okay. Because I'm a captain.
Don't ask me. The humans are strange. The humans in this particular Earth womb pod, they're a little weird. Okay. This timeline is a little funky.
All right.
What can I tell you? Pirates, yes. War profiteers, whatever. Get away with it. Politician profiteer puppets, they profiteering on their own self. What is it when you prostitute yourself? Their own self-prostituting? I mean, no offense to everybody who loves a given particular politician out there. I think by form, if not by definition, the way it works now, the money is coming from so specific a source, and that source seems to be playing all the sides, pulling all the strings. You can't call any of them anything other than political whores or political puppets, to be slightly less, seemingly derogative to women. Because I think anybody can be a whore. It's not a gender-exclusive term. But I know that it's often used by chauvinists in very gender-exclusive ways, only exclusively against women. So, nebulous subject. I'm sure we'll get a lot of hate mail about it. But I digress. Eating people is bad. Profiteering on war is good.
Wait, what?
What? So, it's my turn, right? Okay, yeah. Speaking of war profiteer, folks, everyone's tripping out about North Korea and their silly things. You know what I'm mad about? That's just more junk in Mother Earth's oceans. And if we really, really stop and think about it, the oceans are literally the womb from which all life came out of. Right? So we're just taking a big, massive, fuck you, Mother Earth, shit bomb in her vajayjay. Right in her womb, in her baby maker.
You said that.
I said the word vajayjay because I think it's that disgusting. Listen, everyone's morally outraged about something. You know what I'm morally outraged about? This may not relate to you because you come from another dimension, and all of your talking dinosaur people have a nice, harmonious relationship to the planetoid, which is, you all know, this is the place you were born out of. Mm-hmm. You know, don't take a massive dump right in it so that it slowly chokes on its...
We have a surprisingly advanced society for talking dinosaur people.
I'm not that surprised. It takes a bit to overcome your own sort of like dinosaur ego traps and not, despite having every tool available to you built into your body, to just eviscerate any dumb fuck who stands before you and eat them or just let them bleed out. Right? Like, it's a
depends on how much snacking I've done.
Right. And how clear-minded you are, remembering that while in your time here in this dimension, you've signed an agreement that you will not, under any condition. But what I'm trying to honor that you as an entity and your people have a great power that you wield, in my experience, quite benevolently. I have never been eaten, by a dinosaur. And I come from...
Don't make it sound like you're excited about it, because mixed
I know,
signals.
I know, right? That's like, I'm asking for it. I'm like, I'm so juicy and tasty. Look at my tasty marbling and...
To the listeners at home, he's rubbing himself.
Stop now. No, that's horrible.
Just his shoulder.
Thank you.
It's still a meat.
It's just a meaty... I'm a very bony person. I'm actually kind of depressingly not morsely. But then the crunchy might be the appeal. I got sturdy bones.
I can digest bones.
Yeah. As a cybernetic sort of... I'm not quite a robot. I'm not quite a person. I'm sort of a nanotechnology, pod cloney cyborg.
Okay, that sounds tasty.
So my bones are a little extra crunchy, as not beyond belief. I don't have superpowers, unfortunately.
Well, you need to bathe in the coastal waters a bit more.
Yes.
Get your radioactive superpowers.
Right. Brace yourselves, folks, because one of the two. Oh, and by the way, as we wind up this episode, I want to thank the illustrious Captain Basil Toothbeard for joining me live and in person for our first fabulous collaboration on an episode of News Breaking News. And I also want to send out a big shout out to, and this is really what this episode and all of these episodes that are about all this depressing shit that's actually happening out there in the world and getting radically ignored for other more urgent, pressing debates like whether or not the world is flat. Or whether or not people should be...
That's more news. Did you read that article? Can I interject?
Yes, please.
This was amazing. I know you like your flat earth, so... I don't remember all the details because I didn't research this one, but I read this the other day. So, who did I say it was? Who was it that was tweeting? Oh my god.
Somebody tweeted.
Somebody tweeted and was poking the flat earthers and said, "Hey flat earthers, if the earth is flat, why isn't Mars flat?" And they got back to him and they said, "No, that's round. We know that." It's like, we've seen that through telescopes, duh. That's round. Earth's flat.
That makes my robot brain hurt really badly.
How amazing.
No, you know what? No, I've got it. It's hilarious. I didn't mean to harp on flat earthers. By the way, guys, before we go any further, I want any globist out there to know that I think you're just as absurd and ridiculous. Okay? So... that's why I address Mother Earth as an actual entity, because y'all think of her as a place, and y'all cray. But I digress.
She's a tasty, tasty larder.
Yeah. She's a provider of... all life consumes life. And Mother Earth is sort of like the womb, the end incubator that provides life all of its many forms. But I digress. Let's poke fun at the silliness of...
Oh, it was Elon Musk. Sorry,
Elon Musk tweeted that?
Yeah, he was the one tweeting and like, "So, flat earthers..."
Oh, he was throwing the challenge at the flat earthers.
He was throwing the challenge at the flat earthers, yeah.
All right.
Why is there no flat Mars society? That was it.
Huzzah!
And they got back and said, "Hey, Elon, thanks for the question. Unlike the Earth, Mars has been observed to be round. We hope you have a fantastic day."
I'll give them this. The most well-balanced... Sorry. Have you gotten them all out, Dinosaur? Laughs are really interesting.
one more. Go.
Given all the benefit of the doubt here, questioning everything and questioning the institutional education is supremely valid. Seek the truth. Question everything. Question flat Earth, yo. Because globists are equally sort of indoctrinated to believe something that they can't directly observe. Even in my condition as a cybernetic entity that's from another dimension / sort of the future, I can't currently take this body that I'm occupying, get into a vessel, and fly the right distance, the right angle far away enough to observe which is which. I don't know if you can, Basil, as a captain of
I'm a flightless dinosaur.
You're a totally flightless dinosaur. And your pirating is sort of traditional pirating. You're not a space pirate, right?
Not yet.
No? Okay.
No, yeah, big pirate coat, the full get-up, big wooden ship.
No, your ship is beautiful.
Thank
and you have a really lovely, what's the name of that one room in the back? Is it that galleon? The galleon? The really lovely
Dungeon.
sort of...
The galley.
The galley.
Wait, which one?
Well, anyways, the room with the beautiful window out the back of the ship.
Is that my stateroom?
Yes, the stateroom.
Right.
I don't know anything about boats. That was a lovely place. It was gorgeous. Thank you for the tour. But, so, globists sit high and proud and pat themselves on the back for regurgitating a model that they can't independently confirm. And here's the linchpin, folks. Both of you, anybody on either side, I say this with all respect and love, anybody on either side of that particular ideological debate has been, conned. They've been, they've been, hornswoggled. There's a one funny word for it that I can't remember what it is right now. I'm trying to pull it and it's just coming out all stupid.
Just keep making sounds.
They've been jibbledy-jabbled. They've been bait and switched. They've been divided and confused, okay? On a polemic issue that
confused.
Yeah, you can't prove one or the other not without a spaceship. And, okay, we can get into the big debate. Is NASA real? Is NASA a big part of the conspiracy and totally fake? I don't have evidence of that either. I've never been to NASA. I've been to NASA's website, and it's pretty, but I don't have the technology at my disposal to be like, this is a verifiable image that it was clearly and obviously taken from an actual satellite orbiting actual planetoid that's generally some kind of ball-type shape. Is it a subtle, multi-faceted, living fractal? Perhaps? I don't know. But I know that both sides and their argument, the purpose of what they believe in is to make them argumentative. Y'all have been caught up in an ego trap that makes your blood boil and your anger flail and you gotta lash out and feel more superior, more intelligent, and like, aha, I know better than all you globists. And guess what? Both sides reduce the planet to a place. And therefore, we continue to neglect this. And where's the moral outrage? As to come back to an earlier point, the moral outrage is in the rape, pillage, desecration, and destruction, and literal sort of just filling in with toxic, immovable, irreparable damage of the very... and I use Matrix in its sort of ancient, profoundly aware... sort of mystic term, not in the postmodern computer term, but Matrix, the mother, the lattice work which renders life into being, which has, as all the mystics have always known, an entity and a coalescing of cognizance unto itself. And here's the great part. Left or right, globe or flat earth, one individual on their own, all we can do is fight about it. You can't go and verify by yourself in any way that's easily attainable without being as rich as Elon Musk or Donald Trump, if he actually has as much money as he pretends to. But, wow, this episode was supposed to be short and snippy, and we've taken and drawn it all the way out to the fullest length.
No, it's 30 minutes. We can stop now. We can stop anytime we want. I can quit whenever.
Fair enough. True. I just want to nail home this one point. Mother Earth being mother and having a consciousness that operates at a higher order than the petty framework that we're used to limiting our experience to, that is something. As opposed to the other two paradigms, which are just paradigms you're convinced to buy into, and then regurgitate the arguments and try to come up with other arguments. That's just a treadmill, folks. It's an ego trap, both sides. Republican, Democrat. What do they call them over in England?
Human dinosaurs. What?
But no. The political divide in
Labour and Conservative.
Labour versus Conservative.
With the Lib Dems in the middle.
There you go. It's all stuff that's been propped up to keep you arguing. And the one thing that you can verify, coming back to the flat Earth globist, you can literally, through simple and humbling practices, connect to your own body's organic ability to connect and commune and sync with the very mother that gave birth to you. Because that is a living organic birthright that we've been denied through the ideological blindering of, being told that it is not available to us by those that set the norm and set the culture and set the agenda. So, boo, war profiteers, keeping us busy with organized murder instead of talking to Mother Earth while we radically take a big toxic poop in her baby maker. And that's my moral outrage. That's why I invite collaborators to join me to poke fun at the things that are normal and to harp about the things that are slowly killing us all. And we should be holding the people in charge, if not the politicians, the corporations that are literally doing this. Those people should be held accountable.
Yeah, just get them.
Yeah. Now, we can't even begin to approach the intonation of seeming to imply.
I am a small dinosaur.
You are very small, very, very friendly, very not people-eating dinosaur.
Allegedly, yes.
Alleged. But hopefully, just talking about these sorts of things and bringing awareness to their radical existence, the fact that they're there and being radically ignored or neglected, will bring about and inspire some movement towards change. Thank you for joining me today, Basil. Do you have any final thoughts? Any shout-outs you want to make to your fans or followers?
Any dinosaurs out there? I'm waving my small arm at you.
And I am trying really hard not to giggle at that because it's very funny. Thank you again. Be sure to find Basil Toothbeard on Instagram soon. It's not quite there yet, but soon. Coming soon. Captain.
Thank you.
Captain Basil Toothbeard. The third, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Like the other Basils before me. All pirate captain dinosaurs from the past.
Coming to an Instagram account near you.
Yeah.
And on for myself, I'd like to. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to button the show on. I'd like to send out a facetious, sarcastic, sardonic sort of here's some poo in your eye, thank you, and shout out and recognition to all those delightful individuals out there on the network, on the human species-wide network of belief manifesting. Because breaking news, folks, the things that you repeat and obsess and believe are your vote in your head. Those sentences and those constructs and those images and those things are your little tiny one person, one avatar vote in the cosmic probability waveform function of your species-wide manifesting energy network. So, cheers to you crazy humans out there who have been literally for the last 40 some odd years voting to live through and survive the most America of post apocalypses, because I don't know if you agree or disagree, Basil, but it feels very much like we are indeed kind of neck deep in the bullshit and barreling right at that in this given moment.
That's half the reason I made the trip out, just to kind of see the fireworks.
Ha!
Not that anything's going to happen.
No. Thanks for tuning in, folks. May you find a sense of humor in our absurdism, and may you find yourself curious about why this incorrigible guy, the world famous Mr. Zeppo, and the Paleolithic famous Basil Toothbeard, encourage you humbly and enthusiastically to look within, because that's where the revolution's really got to start, folks. And until next time, be good humans. May peace, love, and grooviness blossom in your heart. Enjoy our little news headlines music. That's Lions Haven by the Vahir Conlag series. No, I lied. That's the name of the thing. Vahir Conlag series number 1 by Art of Escapism. Available on freemusicarchive.org.